It's September 29, 2022. My name is Jimmy Van, and it's time for KYN Live. My guest is way better at Guitar Hero than I am. His most surprising concert was watching Yes at SeaWorld, and he dabs for Betty White. I think we all do because she was awesome. He is a successful Twitch and YouTube streamer and a self-professed wrestling nerd. This is Jason Paradise. Jason, how are you,
Hey,
sir?
having a lovely day. And Jimmy, thank you so much for having me on as well.
Thank you. You are going to be a lot of fun. We talked off the air, and Jason's like, "Can I say anything? Can I swear?" Absolutely, complete improv. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And here's what's going to happen: we're going to talk the KYN seven of the top news stories of the week that are stupid, funny, or weird. I'm going to get your reactions, and I'll ask you questions along the way. And for guys watching, send in your super chats to get your question or statement read on the air. And if you don't want to donate through YouTube, or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a question or statement anytime, and we'll read it on the air. Jason, once again, I got 7 good ones. It never ceases to amaze me how much nonsense there is in the world. So are you ready to go?
Let's friggin' go.
All right, let's start with story number 7, reported by Oddity Central. So there's a company in China called the China Aviation Lithium Battery Technology Company. What a mouthful that is.
That's
They
a lot.
they they wanted to better monitor their employees' break times because they wanted to make sure that they were productive. So they came up with an idea in order to do that. Jason, any idea what they decided to do?
Oh, man. Why don't they just let people do their job? Okay. This is one of those things that bothers me because as somebody that had to work from home for quite a bit when I worked in the video game industry, man, whenever we would go on like away, if we were away from our laptop for too long, it'd be like, "Hey, everything good? You all right?"
Uh-huh.
Because if there's like ankle monitors or anything like that, I'ma die. So hopefully it's nothing that bad, but no, we need people to be able to just do their own job, man. So hopefully it's nothing monitoring wise.
So you might think ankle monitors is better than this. What they did was they installed video cameras on the ceiling of the bathroom stalls. We've got a picture of it, Joel. Put that up. There they are. There's three examples of it. Those photos right there, they made their way to Chinese social media and they went viral. And apparently 2 of those employees got fired. The third one had their monthly performance score slashed to 0. The company claimed that they installed the cameras because they wanted to monitor smoking in the bathroom for safety.
I was gonna say they
Uh-huh.
were smoking in there.
Yeah, a couple
Bro,
of them
let them
were.
take a couple of tokes. If they're taking okay, if they're having to deal with this management,
Uh-huh.
then probably they do need to light up. Let's be real here. That's some bull. Oh, I get mad
Yeah.
enough when there's the little spot in the door in the bathroom here.
Right. People might look around, right? They might look in. Yeah. Well,
Oh.
in that case, it's considered a violation of privacy and they might face legal action. So, what do you think? You mentioned the ankle monitors. Would you prefer the ankle monitors or having a camera on the ceiling of the stall when you're doing your thing?
Oh, you know what? Okay. I'm all about people experiencing the things they want to. You know what? Enjoy. If you're into showing yourself off to other people, go for it. And I mean, hey, who am I to judge when I do things on camera for a living as well? That's not in my wheelhouse. I can't judge that. But the consent is the thing, right? If you're going into a bathroom to do your stuff, what, unless you're enjoying the idea of being on camera for it, in which case, have at it. But nah, I'll take the monitor over that, I suppose. I already carry a cell phone around. It's close enough.
Well, every question or every story on here, I always want to ask a question that's kind of sort of related to it. And so for this one, my question for you is, have you ever seen or heard someone do something in a public bathroom that was a little unusual?
Which story can I tell without going too deep? Uh, uh, I think the people who busk in bathrooms is the most interesting thing. Like when you go to concerts, things like that, any place that you can go and like if somebody's in the bathroom just trying to do their thing, but you've got somebody making music next to you, man, I'm already here for a concert. That's weird, man.
Like I've heard people playing games in the next stall and loud audio the whole time. Kevin Hart told a story one time. He said that he ran into a guy in the bathroom, and while Kevin Hart is doing his business, the guy waited outside the whole time to get an autograph.
Oh
So
no.
so that would be
No.
kind of interesting. But hey, no cameras on the ceiling. No cameras on the ceiling.
No, at least that there's a plus. That's a positive.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to story number 6, reported by the Daily Mail. Can't wait for your reaction to this one.
Uh-oh.
So Queen Elizabeth passed away recently, as you know. The night before the National Day of Mourning, a pub in Australia called the Rowie decided that they wanted to do something in her honor to celebrate the life of the Queen, and they got some heat for it. Jason, what do you think they did at the Rowie?
Oh, no. With a name like the Rowie, I feel like there's a joke to be made about boating or something like that, but I don't know. That feels rough. Did they do something that offended with her name? With what she is known for, like the Queen something?
Kind of. So they held a wet t-shirt contest. We have the ad from their Facebook page. Put that up, Joel. Look at that. They called it
Queen's
Queen's Wet Tea. So you were kind of right. Like when you said, did they play off her name? They called it the Queen's Wet Tea, and they got some backlash for it. They said no disrespect was intended. Now, what do you think? Do you think Queen's Wet Tea, all in good fun or in bad taste?
You know, with I was thinking rowing, so I was already thinking
You were
water.
kind of there, right? Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. The longer you think about it, the more sense it makes. I'm all about it. I'm okay with this.
You're cool. You're good with it. You're good with it.
Leaving a lasting legacy.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. So my question for you with this one, have you ever competed in any kind of a contest in a bar, pub, or restaurant?
Well, actually, this goes to the Guitar Hero stuff. Yeah, I have. There's been a lot of
Aha.
tournaments in Guitar Hero. I've played Guitar Hero competitively back when it was actually a relevant title for a lot of times. And for the last 5 years, there's been a fan-made game called Clone Hero, which allows for anybody to play whatever songs they want on plastic guitar, like it's the old Guitar Hero games. And so back in those days, there were lots of tournaments, played in a lot of different pubs, won a lot of different coupons for different things. It was always fun to go in and kind of, oh, I've never played this before. Is this easy? How do you do it? And then you end up, taking everybody out because they're not expecting you to be a good player.
Right.
The pool shark kind of thing, but with a plastic guitar.
Interesting. So were you like on the first song, you're like playing like shit on purpose, and then after that, you just kind of go to the races?
I mean, it all depends on the situation. If people think if they think they're hot shit and you want to put them in their place, then there's ways to do it, right?
Fascinating. What kind of grand prize would you get, like in a tournament at a pub?
The most I think I ever got in a pub was like $250. It was not much.
Okay, it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, especially for a night out playing video games at a bar. You can't really beat that, right?
Yeah. Fascinating. All right, reminder, guys, get in your super chats to have your question or statement read on the air. And if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read it on the next show. Let's go on to story number 5, reported by the news.co.uk. Every one of these stories, I can't wait for your reaction because they're absurd and you're pretty good, with your guesses. So let's see what you have to say about this one. So the police in the town of Gosport, England, they had to urge the public to stay clear of the area, and they had to call the bomb squad after several artillery shells were discovered. What's funny about this story isn't the fact that they found artillery shells, but where they found them. And so my question for you, Jason, where do you think they found these artillery shells?
Did you say Ghostport was the name?
Gosport, England.
Is there something supernatural going on here? Because I'm a die.
No idea. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. I don't know. It looks like Gosport.
Oh boy. Let's say it was in a lake. I'm not sure. This is one of those ones where it's a complete guess.
Well, they found these artillery shells at a place called the Explosion Museum. We have a picture of it, Joel. That's the welcome sign to the Explosion Museum. Here is a pic of the actual shells, and the Gosport police posted this on Twitter. There you go. Thank you once again for your patience. And you can see them there on the left, those shells right there. Now, the website for the Explosion Museum, because it is a real place, the website says that you can discover a range of munitions and artillery from cannons to missiles. You sure can.
I was just going to say this seems appropriate.
Right.
I mean,
they're not lying.
Yeah,
they're not lying. But, they probably don't want you to find anything that could potentially be live. That's probably a
Yeah,
problem,
not the best.
Not the
Not the
best.
best. You
Yeah.
want to be live, so
Right.
probably not the best thing to stumble onto.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, do you think that the Explosion Museum would be high on your to-do list, especially now knowing that they found potentially live shells there?
Not especially. I blow up enough over the things that happen drama-wise in the Twitch sphere enough. I don't need any more explosions in my life. Unless it ended up like the old exploding death match that happened in AEW, in which case, then maybe I could handle that one. I might be able
Right.
to
Then
handle
you're good. Right. Right. Or maybe if, like, the Wile E. Coyote, if he can swallow it first,
that.
then you're fine and you got no issue. So, what is the most unique small town tourist attraction that you've ever visited?
Oh, man. Uh, Drove by the Georgia Guidestones, and that's a whole thing. There's a John Oliver episode on that if you want a story. That's
Really?
yeah, there was this Guidestone, this architecture thing that was built in Georgia. I can't remember how long ago it was, like 50, 60 years ago, something like that. And it's supposed to be these rules for humanity if an apocalypse happens. It's a wild story that ends in some pretty crazy twists and turns and ends with racism. So you gotta love it. That's fun. Yeah,
Wow.
all those kinds of
Wow.
stories like that end with something that makes you go, "Really? That's where this
Right.
went? That
Right.
sucks." Because it sounds like
Man.
it's this awesome thing that's like, "Oh, this is mystery," and then it's just some old white guy that's being a jerk.
Wow, wow. That, like, Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful always talks about Jesus Golf in Kentucky. That almost makes me feel like you're gonna go to Jesus Golf and then there's like a far right politician like on the eighth hole. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Same kind of thing, right?
Wow, wow. All right, well, let's go on to story number 4, reported by defector.com. All of these are so good, and I can't wait for your reaction to all these because they're just so ridiculous. So the company Axios, it's a news website. The three co-founders named Mike Allen, Roy Schwartz, and Jim Vandehei, they released a book called Smart Brevity about the company's short format style of writing. And we have a picture of the co-founders with their book. There they are right there, happily posing at a bookstore with their book. It was published on September 20th and it was released on Amazon. And Jim Vandehei, throughout that day, he was tweeting about its success on the first day. Hey, we're number 5 on Amazon. Hey, we're number 3 on Amazon. And we got a screenshot from one of his tweets. I think the one when he said, yeah, Smart Brevity book up to number 3 on Amazon. Well, Defector uncovered something that the co-founders did not go public about when it comes to the book launch. Do you have any
Uh-oh.
idea what that was?
I'm going to guess that there wasn't a price tag or something with it. I'm gonna guess that it wasn't as successful as they were letting on to be.
They issued a memo to their employees saying that they could each expense 6 copies of the book in order to make it a success. Defector got a hold of the memo, and there's the memo on the screen, and Joel highlighted that one bullet. You can expense up to 6 copies of the book. Expense instructions are pinned in the general Slack channel. So I happened to look up, and okdork.com had this. I wanted to know, so how many books do you need to sell to rank on Amazon? And according to okdork.com, if you can sell between 3,500 and 5,000 copies in the first 24 hours, you'll
Wow.
typically rank number 1. Axios has 551 employees. If they all bought 6 copies, that's 3,306 copies. That would probably put them in the top 5 on
Wow.
Amazon. So, what are your thoughts on that? It's kind of like legal manipulation.
Yeah, so there's 2 sides to this, right? If it was a company where you like, let's say, I'll take from my own example, working in the game industry. If you work at a game publisher, right? You wanna be able to play the game so you can talk about the things that you are selling, right? That you're working on, right? If it's something that you have a lot of experience around that you need to be able to talk about, yeah, I guess you need to use the product. But if it's a book and you're just trying to fudge the numbers, that kind of feels like people gifting subs to themselves on Twitch. That's what that feels like.
It
Like, yeah,
feels like,
it's
yeah, they just wanted to rank.
that's it, right? You're gonna still get the benefit from it. You're spending your own money for it just to kind of boost yourself up.
Exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. Yep.
It
Yep.
works for the short term, but are you gonna see the benefit long term?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
kinda shit.
Well,
That's not the right way to put it.
no, you're right. You're right. Well, this next one, you're well versed with social media, so this is a good one for you.
Okay.
Do you have any stories? Maybe it was a colleague or a competitor or whoever. Do you have any stories where somebody engaged in obvious market manipulation in order to boost their numbers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will fake things all the time. People will put up videos that aren't necessarily truthful and then try to market, or hey, there's always the people that view bot on Twitch. That's a thing, right? People that will
Ah,
pay for bots to actually come into their chat so it looks like they have more viewers than they actually do.
mhm,
So it
mhm,
boosts them up in the rankings so that people can see their stream more easily so they can try to get real humans into there.
mhm.
Thankfully, Twitch has cracked down on a lot of that, which is nice,
Oh, okay.
but that's still a problem where if people go to a website and pay money to have people bot their channel, yeah, that's not
Right.
really cool. That's really trashy is what it is. You're not doing anything for your growth there other than just paying and hoping that people see you and go, "Oh yeah, he's got good numbers. I'll watch them." It's not how it works
Interesting.
though,
I just saw a guy on Twitter today, and he posts videos because Hurricane Ian's happening as we're doing this,
for
and
sure.
he posted a video and he said, "Here's a video of a dolphin that got washed ashore, and it saved a dog that was going to drown, and
Whoa.
it was actually a clip from Flipper
Okay,
from the TV show Flipper."
that's manipulation for sure.
Hundreds of people, I'm talking hundreds of people commented about the cute dolphin and what a hero that dolphin is, and it saved that poor dog, and it was a clip from the TV show Flipper.
Were they
That's
just
what it
shit
was.
posting though? Like, were they just putting it up there memeing on it? Because that's cool, that's funny if it's the case just as a joke. So many people will take jokes like that seriously, and
I think
that's
that's why he did it. I think he did it knowing these people are gonna fall for it, and so I'm talking hundreds of people were, like, raving about the heroic dolphin, in Florida with Hurricane Ian, you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
So
Yeah.
world we're living in. All right, let's go on to story number 3, reported by the Huffington Post. Another good one. Can't wait to get your reaction again. So there is a far right political party in Germany called the Alternative for Deutschland Party, or AFD,
Oh, no.
and we have their logo. Put up their logo, Joel. That's the logo for the AFD party right there. In order to help advertise their cause, they gave out bags of gummy candy, and the gummy candy was in the shape of that red arrow that we just saw on their logo. But they ran into a problem. What do you think it was, Jason?
I'm gonna guess that the red arrows ended up looking penis-shaped.
You are spot on. They look like red penises. There's a
Oh!
picture right there. That is courtesy of Ann Katrin Mueller from Der Spiegel. And to
That's
make
so good because it feels appropriate.
and to make matters worse, put the bag back up, Joel. Now it's in German, but to make matters worse, they had messages on that bag including there is an alternative. And another one of the messages on the bag was you just have to choose.
So it's pro-choice messaging.
Pro-choice messaging. That's what it
Pro-choice
was.
messaging on the far right candy. All right. Wow. Mixed messages much?
As you can imagine, the party's going to phase the gummies out. As you
Mm.
can imagine. What do
The
you think about
arrow
would a bag of penis gummies make you vote for the AFD party?
No, no. It kinda looked honestly like the Nike check, to be honest, and I was
Yes, it
thinking like it
did.
was gonna be a just do it thing at first, but that
Yes.
changes things entirely when they're gummy penises.
Yes. Yes. Can you imagine? Like, I guess there's no due diligence. You know what I'm saying? No one opened up a bag first before they started mass mailing them. You know what I'm saying?
It's honestly better though. It goes to show it shows their level to commitment, like, for quality assurance, right? You're gonna get penises. Vote us, you get and that might be a selling point for some people.
It might
It's
be. I mean, look at the attention they've gotten. This thing went viral, right? So the
right,
AFD
yeah,
got attention. So
yeah, that's it. And hey, all marketing does get you eyes, right? So
exactly.
it's what you do
Exactly.
with them.
I'm going to throw you an easy question on this one.
All right,
If you could only have one kind of candy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Reese's Pieces.
You like Reese's Pieces that much? That would be it.
That's the easy one. That's the easy one. Although if we keep with the Guitar Hero theme, there's a joke for Skittles, right? That's what it looks like when you play the crazy stuff, just Skittles falling down, right?
That's got to be like a crossover marketing thing. Have they ever tried doing anything like
I've
that?
tried reaching out to them. They've never contacted back. So, man, I've
Really?
tried. I've tried. Skittles. What the come on,
Wow,
man.
wow. So you being a Reese's Pieces guy, did you know? Because they got popular with the ET movie, right?
Right.
Reese's. Did you know that the movie wanted M&Ms and M&Ms turned them down?
No, I had no idea.
Yes, yes, and that
What?
basically launched Reese's Pieces into like superstardom of candy after that.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
All right, final reminder, get in your super chats to have your question or statement read on the air, or go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read your question or statement on the next show. Let's go to story number 2. Oh, these stories. This one's reported by Oddity Central. So back in May of 2021, an incident occurred between two co-workers from China, a woman and a man, and the incident resulted in the woman taking her colleague to court. Jason Paradise, what happened?
Is this some people's court kind of stuff? Are we getting into the TV show kind of market? Is that what we're getting? Because I'm hoping that this is videotape, whatever's happening.
Yeah, I don't think this one was. I think this
Uh-oh.
one, they tried to keep it, I think, on the down low, but it went viral.
Okay, so this is gonna be uncomfortable then. That's what I'm feeling.
I'll let you take your guess. What do you think happened?
Oh, I'm gonna say that it went the opposite direction and there was a proposal. I'm going as absurd as possible.
Very interesting guess. So what happened was the man greeted her with a hug so hard that he allegedly broke her ribs.
Okay.
We have an
Proposal,
X-ray.
lip break.
Yeah. So on the right side, he broke 3 ribs. The woman tried to negotiate a settlement on her own, but the guy said there was no proof that his hug caused the injury. So she sued him, and he was ordered to pay 10,000 yen, or about $1,500 US, as compensation. I mean, okay, how frail was this woman, or what kind of a death grip did this guy put on her that he popped 3 ribs with a hug? Like, how does that happen?
I am so confused. What can somebody teach the wrestlers that do bear hugs how to do that? Make it look good? Like
Yes.
that's a good way. Like maybe this guy should be a trainer for wrestling. My goodness.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. So, in wrestling, the other guy is oftentimes he keeps his feet on the ground, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I don't know why they do that. That's just what they do. I'm guessing that in this case, he's flailing her around the room, like,
shaking it around.
yeah, like how
Like-
else do you pop 3 ribs with a hug? How does that even happen?
I think of like a dog or something that's biting a piece of meat and shaking it back and forth, but it's just a hug instead.
Yeah.
How does this happen? Man, my brain is mush.
So, have you ever seen a coworker interact with another in such a way that it resulted in either injury or just flat out embarrassment?
Ooh, let me think on this one for a second. Let's see. Was there ever a story like that from the game industry or from TwitchCon, maybe? From the streamers? There's probably something better with the streamers. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm dying. I'm trying to figure out a good story over here. I'm on the spot.
I've seen a bunch. I've seen a bunch. Like I've seen. I remember there was one where these girls were taking a picture, and one of them mid-picture lifted up the top of the girl next to her.
Oh God.
And so the picture, she was basically in her bra for the picture.
Oh,
That happened one time. I mean, alcohol gets in the way sometimes, and
I mean, the most obvious ones I can think of are streamers that were very excited to see each other at TwitchCon and then like literally barreling over each other.
yes.
Like, oh my God, I finally get to meet you in person.
Right.
I mean, I was skipping down the street at TwitchCon one time because we were just joking about something, and that's when I ran into a streamer that I'd never met for the first time, and I'm just like, I look like an idiot. At least I didn't kick anybody or anything, though, right?
Oh, so you were happy to see them?
Yeah, I was long story, but joking, skipping down the street, and then of course turn the corner and there's somebody I've never met, and I'm just like, I'm an idiot. This is wonderful.
Have you had a situation the other way? Because like you're really successful with Twitch and YouTube. Have you had somebody where they were really stoked to see you?
Unfortunately, I've had some really weird incidents like
Have
that.
ya?
I was in the grocery store with my wife once and had somebody literally come up and start pulling on my arm with, "Oh my God, Jason, it's so good to see you." I had no idea who this person
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
Man, I was in the middle of like a bad mental health spell at that point too.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like, I don't want to touch people. Get away. That
Oh,
kind of thing, you know?
I went to StarCast in 2019 with Sean Ross Sapp because I just
Yeah,
wanted to experience a wrestling convention with the wrestling journalist, Sean Ross Sapp. I was just curious. And the dude got stopped like every 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? I
sure.
couldn't believe it. To me, this is just the guy that I work with every day. Like I
Yeah,
just never, but it's just amazing. The world we live in now is just amazing. The celebrity that you get in this environment,
I
you
agree
know?
completely. Yeah, and it's sometimes really uncomfortable. I can only imagine for people that are on TV all the time.
Right.
The most uncomfortable thing I've ever had happen with that is I was going to Starbucks one day just for a cup of coffee, and the person at the register recognized me, and they started trying to give me the coffee for free when there was a line of people behind me. And it's one of those things where you feel so uncomfortable because I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"I'm a normal dude. I just wanna buy
Uh-huh.
my coffee. Let me have my coffee." And I don't wanna take it because I don't wanna, like, have people behind me wondering why
Yes.
either, and, like,
Yeah.
it was so it's so uncomfortable because it's like, "I appreciate that
Fascinating.
you like my content. Thank
Yeah.
you for that, but I don't want special treatment
Yeah,
either."
you don't wanna draw that attention either. You just kinda wanna get your
No.
coffee and be on your way.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
dude. Just talk to me
yeah,
like a human, please.
I'm with you, I'm with you. Alright, it is time for story number 1 already. I could do, like, another 10 with you because you are a lot of fun,
Oh,
but
thank you.
we are already at story number 1, and, once
Save the best
again
for last.
yeah, this is an interesting one too. So there is a mattress manufacturer out of the UK called Emma. And they discovered, supposedly through their research, that almost a quarter of the people in the UK are sleeping worse this year than last year. So they decided to create the ultimate sleeping experience, and they're doing a contest to pick a winner. And so, my question for you is what is this supposedly science backed sleep experience that they're doing?
Oh god, I hope it's not something to do with, "We've got a new inflatable mattress," I've heard everyone loves inflation. That's,
Oh,
uh,
can you
uh,
imagine?
that's an awful joke.
Well, what they do is you get to spend a night in a glass dome out in a field
Okay.
surrounded by sheep that have numbers painted on them so that you can count the sheep. We have pics of this experience. Go ahead and start throwing them up.
Oh,
They
this
call
is
it, look at this. They call it the Sleep Sanctuary. The Sleep Sanctuary.
stop.
Yes. They claim that techniques like counting sheep were the number one go-to method to help us drift off to sleep. So they created a unique space to put this method to the test. I mean, this looks cool, and obviously it's a marketing ploy, but I think
Absolutely.
harder to sleep than better, don't you think? Like out in the field and you got a bunch of sheep walking all over. Like, wouldn't it be harder than easier to sleep in that environment?
It seems bad. It seems rough. That's just like, I don't want it, man. If I've got an animal next to me, I want it to be my dog, my cat, something I can cuddle with. If I'm just like looking at painted sheep, that feels weird.
It
Like
doesn't seem right at all. Yeah.
I love the idea of sleeping outside, but at
Uh-huh.
the same time, like, you're painting these animals just so humans could potentially, man, just okay, here you go. Take a few deep breaths. I swear to God, it'll help you sleep better. It sounds dumb. Take
Right.
some belly breaths. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna sleep a little better. That you don't need to paint a sheep.
uh, so my question for you, what is the worst night of sleep that you can ever remember having in your life?
Oh man, Guitar Hero tournament in Las Vegas, Nevada. We did it was the Guitar Hero 5 days. So this is around maybe 2008, 2009. The Stratosphere was the location. So the tallest building on the strip at the time. Don't know if anything's larger now, but the tournament was on the top. And I don't think that I slept maybe more than an hour that night afterwards because it was Vegas with every single of the top players, all of us just hanging out, having a good time and enjoying Vegas when we had to fly out the next morning. So yeah, you're not going to be able to sleep through that. That's memorable for good reasons, but bad night of sleep.
And if it's like a Vegas tournament, that's got to be for serious money, no?
It was decent. The thing that I remember the most about it though was they were like, "Hey, there's a thrill ride here. If you win, we'll let you jump off the building."
Uh-huh.
That's everybody wants that, right? It's
Uh-huh.
like, I've
Uh-huh.
spent years getting good at what I'm doing. I'm gonna go jump off this building right here
Right,
as
right.
a
And so
prize.
how did you fare that night?
I think I got 4th. That's actually a funny story too because I've gotten 4th so many times in different events. Someone in my community actually 3D printed a trophy that says Jason always 4th on it.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing. And out of, so you ranked fourth. Like how many players do you think played in Vegas?
That was like at the time it was the top 10.
Yeah. Awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you. Very
Oh, thanks.
fascinating hearing this stuff. Very interesting. All right. Well, I want to thank our guest, Jason Paradise. This has been a lot of fun.
You.
Tell the people what you're up to and where they can find you.
Absolutely. If you want to check out my old content, Guitar Hero stuff, everything else I've ever done, youtube.com/Jason Paradise. You can find me live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jason Paradise. And if you want to catch up with me, talk with me, Twitter, JParaLove is the handle there. Somebody stole Jason Paradise. Haven't been able to get verified yet, so maybe one day. That way people will know JParaLove's the real one.
All right, there you go. Well, that'll do it for KYN Live. Tune in next Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern time for more silliness that's totally real. Until then, bye for now.